Boom!
Boom.
It is Friday, ladies and gents.
Friday.
Last minute cancellation, so you get the best of the business bros. How to launch a podcast. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
The Business Bros Podcast was created for you. Learn from the business professionals who come to share their stories. Find out what's working in business and social media, what's hot and what's not, straight from the mouths of successful entrepreneurs out there doing the real work. And now, welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. Dude, it's Friday. It is Friday. One heck of a week, but here we are, ready to rock and roll, and had a last minute cancellation. And James and I were talking about all kinds of stuff that we've been doing for both of our shows, the Business Bros and James's Polyam show, and all the success we've been having, that he's been having on that side of the program. And I was like, we were talking about, what are we going to talk about if the guest doesn't show up? And as we're talking about the things and how we're improving, I was like, that's it. That's what we're talking about. How to launch a podcast.
How to launch a podcast.
Ladies and gents,
we know a little something about it.
Dude, podcasting has been the greatest experience we've had so far, right? As far as business is concerned, as far as networking is concerned, life-changing. And so I 100% encourage anyone who's listening right now, if you're in business, you're not doing any marketing, you don't know what to do, you don't have quite the budget to get started in your own marketing space, right? You don't, how do I put stuff on Instagram? I don't want to pay for these people to do, $1,500 a month to do my Instagram stuff. How do I don't know how to do Facebook ads. I don't know how to do this. I get it. Start with a podcast. It's the easiest thing to get started with. It does take work. I ain't going to lie to you. There's some work that gets involved, but it'll give you the reach that you're looking for. It'll give you the ability to start fine-tuning your messaging, start fine-tuning your ability to speak, start meeting new people and networking and doing all the things that you need to do so that people will know who you are, people will know what you do, and you will get more referrals and more business that way. So, a little quick story for those of you who've never heard it before. When we started this podcast, I was hearing from my mentor, who at the time I was becoming certified as a real estate coach, right? And that mentor had a daily podcast, and they were doing 100,000 downloads a month. It was ridiculous, right? It's crazy stuff that they were doing already. And through the mentoring process, they were like, "Look, dude, you're in business. You need to start a podcast." Around the same time, I got introduced to Gary Vee's content. He's saying the same thing. And so, these people are ultra successful. They're telling you to start a podcast. So fine. Went on Amazon, ordered my podcast equipment. And I said, "James, we're doing a podcast." And he didn't even look. He flinched. He was like, "What the hell is that about?" But dragged him in. I pulled him in there and I was like, "We're going to do a podcast. By the way, we're going to do it for an hour, and we're going to do it every day, and we're going to do it for at least 3 years." And he thought I was nuts. Well, 3 years is upon us now. July will be 3 years, dude. July will be 3 years that we've been podcasting. And now he has 2 shows of his own. We've been at, technically 676 of the Business Bros. We've met over 500 people that we've interviewed that have been on the show. Those are all people that are part of our network now. Some and many of them that we consider friends and family of the Business Bros podcast. That's what it's all about, right? That's the power that is in podcasting. There's other ways to monetize if you want to do that as well. So first, let's just start at the beginning here, right? So recently, James decided, you know what? I need to have my own show. We launched the Insurance Bros show, and that did okay, right? It's been okay as far as a run's concerned, mainly because there's no heart behind it. It was very business directed. It was very business oriented for the insurance agency. And we've made some great connections on there. Don't get me wrong. We did. But there wasn't a huge heart behind James getting on board. So
James is not passionate about insurance.
Well, you are about helping people with their insurance. You're not super passionate about talking. You're not super passionate about talking. That was too many abouts. I was like, is that too many abouts? About talking about it.
About talking about. Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, look at it either way you want to. I do love insurance for what it's able to do for people, especially life insurance. I really think that everybody should have a life insurance policy. If you don't have a life insurance policy in place already, come talk to me, because I really, really think that you should have one, whether it's term or whole or whatever. Like, this is the thing that sets up your family for success, creates generational wealth. All right, I'm done talking about it. Everybody should have life insurance. So when it comes to insurance, yeah, I'm passionate about it in that sense, but talking about it every single day, like we were trying to do it the Monday through Friday Insurance Pro show, and I got burnt out on that real quick.
So that doesn't mean that you're not talking about insurance. That doesn't mean that you're not doing that, but we had to figure out a way for you to talk to people every single day around a subject that you already know, like, love to talk about. And this is crucial, ladies and gentlemen. You're thinking about starting a podcast. You're a real estate agent. Do not do daily your real estate updates. You're going to get tired of it. It's boring. It's not enough information. Yes, you should do daily real estate updates, but that shouldn't be the main thing of your show. It's not going to grow. People are not going to get the attention. That's a piece of content that you can put out on a regular basis.
It's funny that you're saying this now, because this was basically the mistake that we made, because you had actually said that multiple times to other people. You had said that, we had said that on the show. If you're going to start a podcast, if you're a real estate agent, don't start a real estate show. Start it on something else that you're passionate about. And we didn't listen to our own advice. And we started this Insurance Bro show, and I burned out on it really quickly because it just wasn't enough content. I wasn't passionate enough about the content, about the things that were going on, and it just wasn't enough to really, really keep it going. Now, I still have the show, and I'm still going to pursue that show. I've taken a little bit of a break from it, but I'm going to get back into it. I got some people that I really want to talk to actually pretty soon here. I had some good ideas for content, but yeah, so I started this other show around a subject that I was more passionate about, that I am more passionate about, and that's about the visibility of the polyamorous community. So launching that made all the difference,
dude. That's well, that's the passion point, right? All of a sudden see, here's the thing, it's gonna take work. Right? It's not you just flip on the mic and you're done. It's going to take work, because you got to we're doing interview shows. That's the way we roll. We love talking to people. That's the fun part of doing a podcast. So how do you get people to come on your show, right? First, you got to have a topic that you love. Right? It's something that you want to talk about. I love talking about business. I love talking about people's stories. I love listening to the problems that they have, the struggles that they're having, and then giving my 2 cents on how I think you should approach it. Plus, I love listening to people who are more successful than I am and take information that they're giving me to show me things. That's why Business Bros works for us. And that's why you see me with so much energy, because this is what I can talk about all day long. So once you have a topic laid out, right? Once you know this is something that you want to talk about on a regular basis, the next step is, if you're doing an interview-based platform, is how do you get other people to come on your show? The Business Bros podcast is booked out 8 weeks in advance. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are starting a podcast who are struggling to get guests on your show. Yesterday, James did a little bit of work. I mean, not a little bit.
Hang on, a lot of work. Before we get into yesterday. Before we get into yesterday, because I wrote this note down here: get into the community that you want to serve, right? You want to find something that you want to talk about, something that you're passionate about. If you're passionate about bird watching, go on Facebook, get into all the bird watching groups, and start talking to people there. I got into all of the polyamory groups. There's a whole bunch of different ones. I got into them. I started talking to people. I started leaving comments, engaging, interacting, and then, after a while of doing that, I go ahead and just post something saying, hey, I'm going to launch this podcast. What do you all think of this? The name of the podcast came from me getting into the community and asking people what they would name the show. And I got a bunch of different answers, probably about 20 different answers, 20 different suggestions. And some people, leaving the suggestion, and then other people saying, yeah, I love this one. I love this one. And so I ended up doing a poll, and the poll had like the top 5 names, the top 5 suggestions. And I ended up kind of just mixing them all together. Anyway, long story short, that's how I came up with the name of it. But getting into the community that you want to serve, start to get that recognition, start to generate that buzz. You can start to get guests that way. If not guests, at least your listeners, your viewers, your audience. You're talking to those people right then and there.
You stop being invisible, right? That's the thing. And this is marketing 101. You can't be invisible, and then expect people to know who you are. You have to actually get out there. And this is the work part of going on to social media. I mean, I know there's a lot of people who get on social and all they do is scroll. You have to engage with people. You have to build that communication with people in order for you to start getting people to know who you are, so that when you offer things like a poll or when you ask for questions, there's people who you've already engaged with who are going to want to engage with you back. It's that power of reciprocity that's going on there. So be active in that community. Let's go on to number 3, Ham. Number 3 is going to be the other side of the work. So how do you, another way to get guests on your show, and this is the way that I started at first, aside from social media, is looking for some of these platforms that are out there. They're things like matchmaker.fm, right? So that is a platform where there's a lot of podcasters out there, and there's a lot of people who want to be guests on shows, and they create profiles on these pages. And when you go into these pages, if you're a podcast host, you can create a profile there and turn on the button that says, I want guests to come on my show. And people who are looking to be on shows will actively go out there. There are podcast managers out there. People who actively, what they do is they go up to professionals and they're like, hey, do you want to be on multiple podcasts? Yes. And so these people will pay a podcast manager, and that podcast manager is going to go out and put you on shows. That's what they do all day long. And so they use platforms like matchmaker.fm to find podcast hosts looking for guests. If you have your hand up at that point, if you're the one saying, yes, I'm looking for guests, and there's a profile, this is the type of guest I'm looking for, these podcast managers will find you, and you start to build a relationship with them, because those people are going to continuously send you prospects. I get maybe 2 to 3 prospects a day that these podcast managers are sending to be on the show. Our show's booked out 8 weeks in advance because we have people like that are actively sending us different types of people. Some people are a good fit for the show. Some people are not. But that's how we get different people to come on the show that meet the criteria that you're looking for. James took a different approach. What did you do yesterday, Han? That, by the way, achieved some tremendous results.
Tremendous. So when we talk about getting into the community, it's not just the Facebook groups. There are other places where your community is going to meet and interact. There are places all over the internet. For my community, there is a resource called polyfriendly.org. So for those of us in the polyamorous community, people don't often know what it is, and if they and when they're told what it is, a lot of times the reaction is, "Ooh, I can't do that." Right? Or whatever, just any kind of negative reaction. And that has a tendency to trigger people, right? People don't want to be told that their lifestyle is gross or unacceptable or weird or whatever. They want to feel safe. So there's this resource called polyfriendly.org, and all of the professionals that are on this website are friendly to polyamorous and LGBT community and trans folks and all this stuff. And so there's nothing in there that they're going to balk at, right? There's nothing that's going to make them go, oh, that's weird. They're not going to feel judged. It's a safe place. So I just went there, and between yesterday, and I counted it just before the show, between yesterday through till this morning, I sent over 725 emails directly to those professionals. And Nan, what did you say? How many bookings did we get from that?
I think I counted 38 bookings from that.
38 bookings.
Huge. So 38 bookings. And now, I don't know, some of you might do a weekly show. Some of you might do, a show every 2 weeks or whatever. James is doing it 3 days a week on this particular show, booking out through May. People are booking into May, and they just keep coming in. They just keep popping in, right? And here's the thing. All these people, we don't know who they are. We know that they're, James knows that they're in the polyam community, and that's enough because he's making a connection. His brand is the insurance bro. Now, the insurance bro might exist in the polyam community, but all these people have an insurable interest. They have vehicles, they have businesses, they have lives that they need to insure. So you start to become that reputable resource within this small niche. And that is super powerful. Now, it did take a lot of work. That was 700 plus emails that he had to send out. So it wasn't like it was easy to do. I'm doing the matchmaker thing. That was more an easy step, but it takes some time for that to build. Putting in the work, putting in those 700 emails, that makes a huge difference. That was just today, by the way. That was just today. Those 38 responses was just today. That doesn't mean that those aren't going to continue to come in. Now, each one of those people that comes on the show, think about what's happening here. Every time they register to be a part of the show, not only are they becoming part of the show, that not only are they going to be on the episode, not only are we going to get to know them and bring them into our network and into our family, but now we have their email address. Now we have their phone numbers. Now we have a questionnaire that answers questions about that particular profile. All those things are valuable pieces of information because, ladies and gentlemen, you are in business, right? So you need to know what your customers want. What problems do they have? What are the things that they're going through so that you can offer solutions that make you money? And this is what that podcast is allowing you to do. Now, will you get thousands of downloads right off the bat? No, it's not going to happen that way. But
I'm getting about 30 downloads an episode right now, though. That makes me pretty happy.
Good for a start. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So look, considering that the Insurance Pro show was in the single digits on downloads per episode, I'm pretty excited about 30 plus.
And it's growing from there, right? And it's growing from there. Look, here's the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. This is marketing, right? This is still the work that needs to get done when you're promoting who you are and what your business is. Brands are going crazy right now because there are so many saturating the market, and some are great and some suck. But it's your inner circle. It's that circle that you create, your own sphere of influence. When you connect with people on an emotional level in their niche, in the things that they're doing, those connections can blossom into so many different relationships. So many doors can open, so many professional networks that you can get into through the thing that you love to do. I mean, dude,
yep. I want to talk to that. I want to speak to that point because there's two things that you said there. One is this is marketing, and two is picking the niche, finding that thing that we are passionate about. When it comes to that niche, I'll just say this. When we jumped into the insurance podcast, how many insurance podcasts are out there? There's so many, right? There's a ton of insurance podcasts, and not that any of them are bad or good or whatever, but there's a whole bunch of them. I did a search for insurance podcasts and just a whole freaking line of them, right? Scroll, and Google page, tons of them. Then you do a search for polyamory podcasts, and you know what? There's a lot fewer results. So what do we call that? What does Russell Brunson call that?
That is a blue ocean, my friend. That is a blue ocean.
It's a space that has not been saturated. It's a space where there's a lot of room for someone new to make a splash. And so that
a lot of potential for aggressive expansion.
That's right, Joker. That is absolutely right. There's a lot of potential for that. And so when we try to talk about our profession, when we say, okay, we're a real estate agent, so we're going to start a real estate podcast, or I'm an insurance guy, so I'm going to start an insurance podcast, it's saturated. But when you pick that thing that you love, that thing that you're passionate about, that thing that matters, then you can get into that blue ocean, start making a difference. And then the other thing that you said was, this is marketing. And this is the realization that I've been coming to over the past several weeks. As the CEO, as the owner of my company, as the person that is building systems and hiring people and creating a foundation to allow others to create wealth for today and generational wealth for tomorrow, as the person that's building this thing, one of my main jobs is to be in marketing, is to talk about what I'm doing, is to have my face, my name, my brand, who I am. It's, everything that I'm doing is creating a buzz, and my job is to funnel that back to my business to create leads for my agents, for my team.
And dude, I want to bounce on that too. So look, we have spent, and what's really popular right now is we spend a lot of money and a lot of time on things like Facebook ads, things like YouTube ads. And don't get me wrong, those have great returns and great results if you do them correctly. But that is all paid for traffic, right? You're paying to get in front of people. The thing that's beautiful about creating a podcast is that you're collecting all that information, and that is traffic that you own. Once you own that traffic, once you have those emails, once you have those phone numbers, now you can continuously market to these people, whether it's an email campaign, whether it's a text campaign, whether it's your episodes that go out, all those things that get syndicated. Now you can really, really target the people that you want to go after. You can laser focus your paid ads. So you can take the email list that you've created. So the guests that have been on the podcast, right? There's a list of over 500 people that have been on the show, plus other people that have joined the Business Bros Network. So we have a huge list now. Our list is somewhere around 16,000 people on our Business Bros list. I take that email list and I can create an audience directly on my Facebook Manager. And now I can promote each individual episode. I can promote each individual promo. I can promote a single post directly to people who know, like, and trust our brand. And that is traffic that I control. I can pay to boost it out. I can do it for free by sending out an email or a text message through my own platforms, but you control that that audience, right? When you're putting your information out on Facebook, like when we're doing this live stream, not every one of our 8,000 Facebook followers sees it. It just doesn't happen. Maybe 80 of our Facebook followers, 8,000 Facebook followers see it. That's because the Facebook algorithm has really slowed down the reach that you're getting organically. Now, if I pay for a couple bucks, then I can get in front of more and more and more of our existing fan base, right? However, if I take that same episode and I shoot it out as an email, now I can send it out to 16,000 different people who have already seen our show, who already recognize our brand, and who are willing to watch our show. That's how you start to get your download numbers up. That's how you start to get your views up. By controlling that data that you have, by allowing that information to start coming in. So using a podcast to generate an audience is to me one of the easiest ways to grow that controlled traffic. And I want to shift a little bit here. So one piece is getting the guests to come on the show. The other thing is, what about the listener? What about the person who's just listening to your show, but hasn't been a guest on your show? How do you get them to engage with you? Well, this is where lead magnets can come in. This is where we can offer you different things direct on the show. We can offer you different giveaways. We can give away money, promos, coupons, affiliate links. We can do all kinds of different things here to get discount codes, right? To get other people who are just listening to the show to come on board and trade them something of value for something that they have of value. For us, the most valuable thing they can give us is their contact information, their phone number, and their email, right? In return, we can give them different things. We've done promos where we give away quote cards for your Instagram. We've done different things where we've given away some logo design. We've done some things where we give away some content creation, some testimonials. We've done different things like that where we give away stuff for free. And the reason why we do that is because we want to attract more people to get that email, to get that phone number, so that now we can communicate with you directly, right? That is the power of podcasting. These are a bunch of different tips that we've kind of laid out for you today to launch your podcast, to get started, and to understand the value that a podcast can bring to you, to your business, and to your brand, because it makes a huge difference in your life. So real quick, with the last 7 minutes, let's talk a little bit about what software we can use to launch your podcast. You want to start with one, Ham?
The one that I've been using lately that I'm still learning a lot about is High Level. High Level is a really good one, and if you're interested, you know what, we have an affiliate link. I just don't know where it is or how to set that up. But High Level is very, very comprehensive. It can take the place of everything from Calendly to ClickFunnels to Pipedrive and CRM automations. Like, there's so much that this system is capable of, but because it's capable of so much, there is a steep learning curve. If you have used CRM software in the past, there's things in there that's really, beneficial and useful and not all that different. But a lot of the setup for me was the hard part, getting things set up like Twilio, so it will automatically be able to send text messages out, getting things set up like Mailgun. I think you can use something other than Mailgun, but this is for your email campaigns. There's so much that this thing is capable of, the system is capable of. But for me, it's been a steep learning curve. What do you use?
Well, that's the backend support. I'm using a high level system as well. It's through Billy Jeans, and it only actually has right now the text sequencing and chat features enabled. So they're enabling certain features as we go along with built-in campaigns, which is super cool. So that's the backend support for collecting that data and communicating with your audience. But let's talk a little bit about the software to start your podcast, to actually launch it. So what I was pitching to you there, and you didn't quite get it, was the Anchor.fm. What's been your experience with Anchor.fm? Oh,
yeah, dude, Anchor.fm. Well, it's funny because every time that somebody listens to one of my podcasts from iTunes or Spotify or something like that, there's an advertisement in there for Anchor FM because it is super easy. It's incredibly easy. It doesn't take very long to set up. It's super, super fast. And then if you wanted to record a podcast without doing anything else, you could literally just like click the record button on your phone and just start talking into your phone. And that could be your podcast. It doesn't have to be anything like what you and I do here. Anchor makes it super, super easy to just launch and go. It's very, very plug and play.
Dude, and here's the thing, you also get analytics there. You also have the ability to monetize through those little commercial clips that you embed in there.
I've made $5.
$5, right? From hey, dude, $5 from just launching a show. That's monetization, right?
Yeah.
It's a Starbucks cup of coffee, ladies and gents. But we're just getting started. That's just one monetization strategy, right? One little piece. It's like when you get started on YouTube, right? When you make your first couple cents on YouTube, you get excited.
right. And this is like I said, I have 12 episodes and about 30 downloads per episode. The very first episode, that one has the most downloads. It's at like 90. But the rest is, somewhere around 30. And, $5 is $5. That's pretty cool. But if you have like a much more successful podcast, there's a lot of podcasts out there. You were talking about the Harris podcast, right? They 100,000 downloads a month. Like that's a ton. So I'm not even close to that. I don't even think I've hit 1,000 yet, but hundreds of thousands, then that $5 is maybe more like 500 or 5,000.
Add some zeros to the back of that.
Add some zeros.
All right. So the Matchmaker.fm was one that we use. The other one is Anchor.fm. So Matchmaker is going to help you connect with other podcast hosts or connect with other guests that are looking to be on podcasts. Anchor FM is the way to syndicate your audio only. So it'll send it out to iTunes, Spotify, all those different places. And both of those platforms are free, by the way. And Anchor.fm allows you to monetize. Then the last one is if you're interested in doing video, like we do video here, right? So if you're listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, yes, there is a live video version. So all you got to do is go to YouTube, youtube.com/Business Bros Pod, and you can find us there. Hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell. But that podcast right there, that video platform, the way we do that is through this platform called StreamYard. Now, we used to use Zoom, and I know many of you will use Zoom, but there's too much that has to go on after you record your episode. What happens?
It's worse. It's so much worse.
Doing stuff like that, right? Just adding a video clip.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
Star-Lord is a video clip, right? Adding a video clip, you would have to wait till the recording is over, then go back, figure out where you want to insert it, cut it, insert it, all these different things that happen. What about your intro? What about your outro? We didn't want to do all that. StreamYard, and if you use StreamYard the way we use it, you're able to add the intro, add the outro. Look at the thing scrolling across the bottom right there. You can add lower thirds, which is when stuff pops up. We can feature comments that come up. We can change the background, use GIF background so that it automates the background. We can add our intro, outro, all these things. And when we're done, when we hit end broadcast, it's already on Facebook. It's already on LinkedIn. It's already on Twitter. It's already on Twitch. It's already on YouTube. So
I wasn't aware that was something a person could do.
if you go through
King George in there.
That's cool. It's cool. If you go through our podcast mentorship program, we're going to help you get all that set up so that you have a fully edited video podcast and audio. Because when you're done, you can download the MP3, upload that to Anchor, and you're done, ready to go. We want you to have zero editing time, zero post editing time. That's the goal. I want to save you time. Now, using StreamYard, it's not free. There's a $25 a month version and a $50 a month version. It just depends on how many places you want to send your podcast to, because you can send it to multiple places. So I said Facebook, but right now we're streaming to my personal Facebook. We're streaming to the Business Bros Facebook and a private Podcast Like a Pro Facebook group. So that's 3 different Facebook groups that we're streaming to right there. So look, ladies and gents, if you want help launching your podcast, you want it to look professional, you want it to sound professional, you want it to syndicate to all the different places, then hit me up. Go to businessbros.biz. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You can be a guest on the show if you're an entrepreneur. You can get content done for you on a monthly basis. We'll sit down, record it, do all the content for you for the entire month. We'll post all your stuff for you. We'll take care of it, handle all the descriptions, the hashtags, the posts, the editing, all that stuff for you. We can do testimonial videos for you. So the testimonial videos, you're a real estate agent, those clients should be talking about you every single day, 24 hours a day. Now, the real person won't do that, but if you record a testimonial, they will, and that'll live on your website, and we'll help you get that stuff done for you. We'll create those testimonials for you. And then lastly, of course, we'll help you launch your podcast. You're interested in doing a podcast? Don't do what everybody else does and try the Zoom thing for free. Do it the way we teach you to do it. Save yourself all that time. We'll teach you how to grow your podcast in a way that is saving you as much time and effort to get the audience that you're looking for, target the type of show that you want, and show you how to save yourself time with editing. All right, ladies and gents, that's all we got for you guys today. Happy Friday. We'll see you again on Monday. Peace, y'all. And we're out.
Thank you for listening to the Business Bros Podcast. Are you looking to get more clients or to increase your income? Hernan, the business bro, can help you generate referrals through the power of podcasting. And James, the insurance bro with Pipeline Insurance, can help you effectively add insurance to your existing business. If you are ready to create wealth today and generational wealth for tomorrow, email businessbros@csfirst.com to schedule a free consultation, or join the Business Bros Network, www.businessbros.biz.